Steph Curry has been on an amazing streak this season.
Life.
I mean, it has been this season. He's been on an amazing stretch this season.
Life.
Stephen Curry has averaged 38.7 points per game, 6.3 rebounds, 4.7 assists in the last 11 games this month, shooting 52% from the field, 47% from three. Even though he just had a game where he shot 7 for 25 against the Wizards, he had a bad game. He had 18 points. But the question is this the best offensive stretch that you've ever seen from a player? I'll start with you because you're a Steph Curry fan. Riv?
No.
It's not.
Nah, I think it's one of the best offensive stretches.
Who's is better? Who's is better?
No, I think Harden's was better, just because I think like with these two players, they were two different stretches. I feel like Harden's was more, he has the ball a lot in his hands. He was making plays for his home. But I do agree, Steph is having one of the best offensive stretches we've ever seen. Because when you look at the way he's scoring, off the ball, on the ball, and it's a disservice how people talk about him as if he, talking about offense. He does so much on this team. He's one of their best screeners, one of their best shooters, one of the best free throw shooters, one of the best finishers. He's the guy that comes off the ball, on the ball. He's one of their best ISO scorers. I think with this streak, you've seen him show that if he needs to, he can put a team on his back and go on a scoring machine like any other player in NBA history. And I think that's what he kind of wanted to prove, that he's just as good as a scorer as anybody else. I think Harden, with his size and his durability, he can do it obviously for longer stretches. But I think Steph Curry doing what he's done at the way his efficiency is, which is off the chart, because that's always been his go-to, his efficiency. I think this is definitely one of the greatest stretches we've ever seen.
What bothers me about Steph Curry and how fans talk about him is that,
don't start.
For one,
don't start.
They tend to disrespect him a lot. I'm not saying anything. I'm going to be honest here, right? Because on TikTok, I made a video about how I think Steph Curry is more skilled than Kyrie. And
I remember this.
Even though Kyrie Irving is known for his finishes and how flashy he is, when you look at percentage-wise, since they started measuring driving stats and how good you finish at the rim, Curry has beaten Kyrie in every season but one. And their attempts are pretty much the same. This year, Curry has a higher percentage driving to the basket and finishing his layup than Kyrie, and he's taking more layups than Kyrie. So it's not like the volume is astronomical. And we know Curry's the best shooter of all time, and he's the best off-ball player of all time, in my opinion. And I think Curry's a better passer. But there are a lot of fans who look at basketball in a such simplistic way. Oh, Curry, he can only do that because he's, getting screened all the time, for and all this stuff. Or they say this, because when I made the argument that he's a better finisher than Kyrie, people commented this. Oh, Steph is only better at the basket because people pay attention to his shooting so much. So he's just getting open layups. And I'm like, you haven't watched basketball.
That's disrespectful.
That's such a simplistic way to view the game. And a lot of people in this day and age have not watched basketball and don't watch basketball, and that's why they say stuff like that. So I think Steph Curry, the perception around him has been kind of jaded a little bit, even when we talk about how clutch Curry is. To the point where I think Max Kellerman the other day talked about how he would take Dame over Steph because of Dame's clutchness. When I think Steph has hit more big-time shots, he has not hit the shot, like the go-away shot to end the series.
Big shots,
but when you talk about big-time shots that matter in clutch situations, Steph Curry has hit a bunch of those. And to put Dame, somebody who doesn't perform well outside of the first round and has just as of recently reached not even the level of Steph, he's not on the level, but to be in even the conversation is pretty, asinine and ridiculous. But back to the question, this is not the best offensive stretch that I've seen. It's been James Harden, 2018-2019 season. Steph is scoring. That's amazing. But they're the 9th seed right now. They have an even record at the time of this recording. James Harden in the 2018-2019 season, 8 of the 10 highest scoring performances of that season belong to James Harden. Harden averaged 43 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, 7.6 assists in the month of January 2019, which was the most since Wilt Chamberlain in March 1963. He's scored or assisted on 61.9 points per game, basically 62 points per game, and he's the 5th player in NBA history with 600 points, 100 assists in a calendar month. And for the year, when we're comparing Harden's year and Curry's year this year, Harden averaged 36, 6, and 7. Curry averaged 31, 5, and 6. And Harden's PER was 30.6. Curry's this year is 26.8. And people think that it's such a astronomical difference in efficiency. But this year, Curry's efficiency is a 66% true shooting percentage. Harden's was at 62% true shooting percentage. So it wasn't that much of a difference. Harden's season that I saw when he averaged 36 points per game was the best offensive season I've ever seen. He led the Rockets to the 4th seed.
Whoa.
Kenneth Faried.
He might be right, dude.
I think I'd give it to Steph's first 30 ball. The unanimous here.
When he hit 400?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Kenneth Faried.
I'll put those up there.
Kenneth Faried was one of the main parts of that stretch that the Rockets had when Clint Capella was out. He was averaging 15 and 10 with Harden.
Because of Harden.
He
That's
has not
crazy,
had an NBA
man.
job since. He has not had an NBA job since. So I'm just saying, Harden not only scores, but he attributes to winning. Steph, this season, yes, he's doing amazing, and I understand that off the court the Warriors are horrible, but he has not been at the seeding that we expect an MVP caliber player to be at when you're playing this good.
Well, oh, I'm sorry.
Nah, bro, go ahead.
No, I agree with most of the things you said, except the seeding part.
I know.
Because when Steph doesn't play, you know, Steph, when he's healthy, every game he's played when healthy, they're actually a 7th seed. If you put that record, when he hasn't played, they've lost every game. So that kind of plays a part in the aspect. But I do agree. I think, like, when it comes to the Steph and Kyrie thing, you know, I argue with him too. I argue with a lot of Kyrie fans because it's that tri-state thing, you know, that Jersey thing. They love Kyrie. Kyrie's a Jersey boy. And, you know, with people over here in New Jersey, New York, they love the flashy, the finesse, the flaw. Like, they love all that. So
I don't even think it's that, though. I think a lot of NBA fans in the country, worldwide, think that Kyrie is more skilled.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
A lot of media outlets say that Kyrie's more skilled
But
than
I
he
think,
is.
like, because I think we was talking about this the other day. We were at, like, what we were basing as a skills. Off-baller skill, we agreed, is, you know, people like to say just running around, but that's sort of a skill because not everybody knows how to do that. I think when people talk about Kyrie being the most skilled, they look at ball handling, they look at finishing, and then they just say, all right, Kyrie's so much better than Curry at that, in their opinion, that they would say he's the most skilled. Some people say he's the most skilled scorer they've ever seen.
Kyrie or
asinine.
Kyrie?
Yeah, that's
sick.
A lot of people. And I think
sick to
I'm
my
not saying
stomach.
skilled scorer. I wouldn't say. Yeah, no, that's a fact.
Yeah,
That's a
no,
fact.
like
Not
the Kyrie love is
he is not the best skilled scorer we've ever seen. Listen,
You know,
that
this is the thing. Okay, let's lay out the argument on the table right now. Answer me these questions: Kyrie versus Stephen Curry.
I don't think it's.
Who's more athletic?
I'm gonna go, and this is gonna hurt me to say.
I think Curry though.
I'm gonna say Curry because he runs around that court all game.
You think Curry is more athletic? I'm talking about in terms of like jumping higher, just
I
athleticism.
think the way his rebound.
Kyrie
I
Irving.
would say Curry.
I would take Kyrie Irving there.
You would take Kyrie. You would take Curry.
I think they're both. I think it's. You can go. I would say Curry though a little bit.
I would personally, in that aspect, I would take Kyrie.
Okay, so if Kyrie is more athletic, then what separates Curry and Kyrie as a player? Why is Curry
His shooting.
drastically better than Kyrie?
His shooting.
Because he's more skilled. That's really what it is. And I think shooting
It's the
should
most
be
important
weighed
skill.
way more heavily than footwork or post game, especially post game for a point guard.
But it's
Why
not
are
like
you
Kyrie's
weighing
shooting
that
a
so
bad
heavily?
percentage either. Curry is the greatest shooter we've ever seen, and that's no question about it.
But
He shoots
Exactly.
I think
So-
in today's game though, when you assess everything Curry does, like he shoots from all aspects, off ball, on ball,
For sure.
off the screen, off the dribble. I don't think Kyrie's if we be honest, he's a one-dimensional player in the sense of he's an on-ball scorer. He's not really a off-ball scorer. Everything is ISO one-on-one.
I agree. So
Okay.
like you said, Kyrie is a one-dimensional player in terms of he's an on-ball scorer. He's not an off-ball scorer. Curry is the best shooter of all time. He's a better passer than Kyrie. He's the best off-ball player of all time. And percentage-wise, Curry is a better finisher than Kyrie as well. And this year, Curry has attempted more layups, so the volume argument is out the window. Their volume is the same. Kyrie is better at footwork, at ball handling, and at post game. But honestly, those crazy mid-range shots you see Kyrie hit, Curry hits those from 3. Curry hits those from 3. Kyrie, I think he's the best ball handler of all time.
I agree.
But he is not the most skilled player of all time. And that topic of conversation has to stop, because what separates a player from a player? If I'm better than you at basketball, it's because I'm more skilled. Right? Because we've seen if it had to do with physical traits and ability, then we'd see all these 6'10" players come into the league and be great players. But especially when you're the same height, they're both 6'3", about 6'2", you're about the same weight, you play the same position. What separates you as a player is that you're more skilled. Okay. That's what it is. And that's why Curry is more skilled than Kyrie.
When they met up in the finals, 2016, it was Curry versus Kyrie, for sure. That whole series, Kyrie and Curry went at it. Who got the upper hand?
Okay, wait. Curry was banged up. 1. 2, I agree. Kyrie got the better of him in that series.
By
I agree.
far.
But people forget the next year, Curry got the better of Kyrie in that series.
Who cares when you have KD? Do you understand?
Reason why you're wrong.
Hold on.
You had LeBron.
Do you understand, with KD on the court, no double teams can occur?
No, okay.
No double teams can occur.
On Kyrie, they can?
Wait, Joel, don't say that.
For sure. Why can't they?
Andrew.
You can't double team Kyrie when he's going into the paint?
Andrew.
Why not?
Andrew.
Why can't you do that with Curry when you have Draymond who can't shoot?
No, because you have KD who can shoot. You have Clay that can shoot.
I had J.R. Smith who can shoot.
Okay,
LeBron
come on, bro. You're gonna
Kevin Love who can shoot.
You cannot compare J.R. Smith to the second greatest shooter of all time and the actual greatest shooter of all time.
I'll say
He
this
was
right
still
now.
getting double teamed, right?
I'll say this right now.
No, he was not.
Yes, he was. People
No,
weren't
he
guarding
was
Draymond
not.
Green and Andre Iguodala. Curry was still getting. There was a
Bro,
one.
How do you double team? How do you double team Steph Curry and leave KD on an island? That's a good idea.
There was one.
You're not doing that.
Perfect example. There was one play in the finals where KD was coming down a fast break and Steph and Clay was on the wings. And you know who the first person they ran to?
I'm gonna assume the greatest shooter of all time in a corner by himself.
Yeah, but KD had a clear lane to the basket.
You take
and they ran
2 points
to Curry
over
out.
3, of course. Come on,
Come on, bro.
You take 2 points over 3. I'm wrong there?
Come on, bro.
You take 2 points over 3.
Common sense. You're standing there. You're going to run to the baseline first, or you're going to stand there and wait for them to make a play?
You
played basketball.
You
played basketball.
That's a fact.
What are you going to do? Keep it on.
I haven't played basketball against Steph Curry.
But you know what you're going to do, though.
Listen,
but you know what you're going to do. What's common sense?
The Cavaliers had played the Golden State Warriors 3 finals in a row. What have they seen in those three finals at that point? Steph Curry killing them from 3-point line. Klay Thompson killing them from the 3-point line. Of course, their first reaction is, oh, Steph's wide open. Let's crash.
So wait, your one argument is 2016 finals. That's your argument.
No.
Use for
See,
life.
I wasn't gonna say that.
But you brought up.
You said you brought up the 2017 finals that Curry killed.
That Curry killed. Brought up the 2016.
That Kyrie got Curry when it was a fair, even matchup.
This is
KD made it unfair. Go ahead.
This is why I think your point is invalid. Because when you talk about the Cavs and Warriors 2016, that Kyrie got the better of Steph Curry, right? LeBron is the best player on the Cavs.
For sure.
Steph is the best player on the Warriors.
At that point, yes.
Kyrie's the second best on the Cavs.
But
Clay was
now
the
he's an amazing second best player.
Listen to his point.
But now, the next season, when they get KD, LeBron's the best player on the Cavs. KD's the best on the Warriors. Kyrie's the second best on the Cavs. Steph is the second best on the Warriors.
But when you have Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, team...
Who's better, Kyrie or Clay?
I'm taking Kyrie.
Okay, so based off what you're saying...
the second best player on the Cavaliers to this... You guys are you're pushing it here because you guys are defending KD on the Warriors.
No,
we're not.
Low key.
I'm actually. If you just said Kyrie was better than Clay, so you believe 2016 the Cavs had the best player and the second best player when they walked into that series.
In that series, they had the first and the second best.
So so
even saying that with Kyrie bugged. Correct.
That's what I'm saying. So you're saying LeBron and Kyrie was better than Curry and Clay.
Correct. That series
so then when
for sure.
KD gets there, He makes it KD versus LeBron.
Bro, you
Curry
can't
versus
double
Kyrie.
team. You can't double team. It makes it impossible. There's a reason they went to
double teams on Kyrie though.
Nobody double teams Kyrie.
Nobody double teams Kyrie.
Kyrie doesn't get double teamed like Steph
So
Curry.
when
You know that.
so when Kyrie had that fadeaway jumper on Christmas Day against okay, thank you. On Christmas Day, that fadeaway jumper where he's driving. That's all I'm saying. No one's ever double teamed Curry. That's
But
cap.
does he get double teamed more than Curry? Even to the amount of Curry.
No, because Curry is the guy on that squad. I'm not saying that. Once KD left, of course he's getting double teamed. But
Even before he got there.
But you used 2017 to benefit your point, saying that Curry got him next time. No, duh, he was gonna get him.
Okay, so the original question: neither of you think Steph Curry's having the best offensive stretch that you guys have seen.
He's had the best shooting stretch I've ever seen. I think that's fair. That's obvious. We'll never see a stretch like this shooting wise. The fact that he has more 3-point shots made than teams.
About six teams.
That is. Babe Ruth is the only person that comes to mind. I got chills thinking about that. He is the only person that comes to mind where he was hitting more home runs than teams. Steph Curry's hitting more 3-point shots than teams. That's unheard of. Dude, he's having the greatest shooting stretch by far. But no, this is not the greatest offensive stretch. As you two mentioned, it's got to be James Harden.
Yeah, and even though it's not the best, I still think Curry deserves a lot of praise for what he's doing this year. It has been exciting, and if we're talking about most exciting stretch, I think Curry has that most exciting stretch, but not the best offensive stretch